Оце так файно виглядає зараз аеродром Білая. Стратегічна ворожа авіація.
Еще один летит. Где?
On June 1st, 2025, Ukraine launched one of its boldest long-range attacks since the start of the war. But this time, it wasn't missiles or fighter jets. It was drones, small, low-cost, and coordinated with precision. The target? Russian air bases housing long-range strategic bombers like the Tu-95 and Tu-22 M3. These aircraft have been used for months to strike Ukrainian cities from hundreds of kilometers away. According to Ukrainian sources, over 40 Russian aircraft were damaged or destroyed. A significant blow, not just in terms of hardware, but also to Russia's confidence in the security of its own territory. The operation hit 5 major Russian air bases: Dyagilevo, Belaya, Ivanovo, Olenya, and Voskresensk. These bases are located far from the front lines, deep inside Russian territory. Interestingly, most of the drones weren't launched from Ukraine. They were smuggled into Russia, reportedly using commercial cargo trucks. Once inside, they were launched by Ukrainian linked operatives stationed in the country. Many of the drones were small FPV units, first-person view, capable of flying at low altitude and navigating tight spaces. They were used to target hangars, runways, and in some cases, directly hit parked aircraft. Satellite images and local footage later confirmed explosions, fires, and widespread damage at several of the bases. Ukrainian officials claim the strike disabled or destroyed more than 40 Russian aircraft, including several strategic bombers and at least one A-50 airborne radar system, one of Russia's most valuable command and control assets. Financially, the damage is estimated at over $7 billion. But even more critical is the strategic loss. These bombers play a central role in Russia's long-range strike capabilities. There were also reports of makeshift countermeasures. Some Russian aircraft were seen covered with old tires, likely in an attempt to confuse drone targeting systems. But field evidence suggests those measures had little to no effect. Many drones still hit their marks. This attack came just days before planned peace talks between Ukraine and Russia in Istanbul. Ukraine has been pushing for a full ceasefire and the return of Ukrainian children deported to Russia. Moscow, meanwhile, is demanding Ukrainian withdrawal from disputed territories and assurances that Kyiv won't join NATO. Seen in this context, the drone strikes may be a calculated move by Ukraine to demonstrate strength and resilience ahead of negotiations. It sends a message. Ukraine still has the means to strike, even deep behind enemy lines, and Russia's rear isn't as secure as it once believed. In response, Russia launched its largest retaliatory strike in over a year, firing drones and missiles at 18 Ukrainian cities, including Kyiv, Kharkiv, and Odessa. At least 12 Ukrainian soldiers were killed and more than 20 were injured. Civilian areas also suffered damage. From a military standpoint, Russia's losses in strategic bombers may take time to recover from. These aren't easy aircraft to replace, and their absence could limit Russia's ability to conduct long-range attacks in the coming months. The success of Ukraine's drone operation also highlights how low-cost technology, when used intelligently, can disrupt expensive and well-established military systems. This operation is a clear sign of how modern warfare is evolving. It's not always about jets, tanks, or hypersonic missiles. Sometimes it's small, cheap drones and smart planning that make the biggest difference. For Russia, this was a wake-up call. For Ukraine, it was a strategic victory, at least in terms of capability and morale. The next question is how this will affect the direction of the war, and whether the Istanbul peace talks will gain momentum or break down. Either way, this strike marks a turning point in the conflict, both on the battlefield and at the negotiating table. This content is created solely for educational and informational purposes. It is intended to provide insights based on verified data, credible sources, and careful analysis. Our goal is to foster a deeper understanding of modern military technology and current events, not to promote or endorse any form of conflict, propaganda, or political agenda. We strictly oppose the spread of misinformation and hoaxes. Every piece of information presented has been carefully sourced from reliable, publicly available references. We encourage viewers to approach the topic with critical thinking and respect for all sides involved, maintaining a focus on knowledge sharing and open discussion.